Welcome back to Freshwater Fishing Novice Friday. My name is Moles. This is the Freshwater Fishing Novice YouTube channel, and I'm the Freshwater Fishing Novice. This week, I was watching and listening to a marine biologist talk about bass and how they act, and this video is going to talk about 5 different things that you need to know that I wish I knew about bass that I learned from a marine biologist. What's the first thing you need to know that I learned from this marine biologist? So how do bass see? Well, this marine biologist was talking about how bass and fish with eyes on the side of their heads basically can see, what do they call it? They call it monocular instead of binocular. Monocular is 1, binocular is 2. So they see with one eye going this way, one eye going this way. They can see up, not so well down. This marine biologist was saying one thing where bass can see binocularly, but it's only a certain range in front of their face. And he was saying it's like 10 to 20 inches, but it can't be closer than that. Like 10 inches, they start getting wanky. What this marine biologist was saying is when you see a bass come up on your bait, if you can see it and it's clear, and you see him nose on it, but then back up, what that bass is trying to do is trying to get that binocular vision. It has the depth perception to be able to strike correctly. So he said, when you see that bass come up off that bait, wait, because that bass is about to strike that bait. That's one thing they can do with their sight. What's the second thing this marine biologist was saying? He was talking about how bass hunt. So it depends on forage, but what I took away from what he was saying is that the way that bass hunt, they hunt looking up. Now, I haven't seen it, but I know bass have hit my lure on the bottom of a water body, but I'm sure it's because it's fallen and then they've followed it and come up on it. But what this marine biologist was saying was, for the most part, bass will hunt looking up, and that's how they're going to strike. So that's fact number 2. What's the third thing I learned from this marine biologist? So the third thing this marine biologist was talking about that I found interesting was he was talking about what colors bass can see. And their eyes are different than ours. They're visual hunters. What colors would they like? The color of lure that bass can see the best are going to be red, and then it's going to be green, and then he said the third one's going to be black, that they're going to be able to key in on the most. And he said blue really just looks like a gray. What else was he saying? He was also saying that white and chartreuse is like that super bright crazy green. Bass basically see those as the same color. So you don't have to get chartreuse, you can just get white. But I think that's why people dip the tails of their bait to give it that white appearance, even though there's no white dipping sauce. Is that a thing? Color. We're going to focus on red. We're going to focus on green, black, white, and then blue. I don't know why. I have a lot of luck on blue. What's the fourth thing this marine biologist taught me, real quick, was bass memory. Like, how long do bass remember for? And he was saying he has these tanks where he tests to see. He said he was throwing crankbaits, same color, chuck, 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 chuck. And he was saying that when a bass would hit it, it would either realize it's not food and spit it out, or bite it and get hooked, and that was a negative sense memory. And he was saying that because he has this controlled environment with all these bass, some of those bass would not hit those same crankbaits or lures for 6 months. They were bugged out by that lure because they had that negative impact. What I learned from that, say you hook a fish, okay, it's going to give it a negative memory of what it just whacked. Whatever it was, if you want to catch that fish again, you're going to have to throw a different lure that looks different, possibly a different color, because that fish might not hit that lure again in your fishing season. What I took from this marine biologist, their memories last, let's say, about 6 months. Let's talk about one of the most crucial things that this marine biologist said that stuck in my mind. What's the 5th thing? The last thing that really stuck in my brain that I wanted to tell you guys about, from what I took from this marine biologist talking about bass fishing, He said you can figure out where the bass are depending on the forage. Now, what's forage? Forage is what the bass are mainly eating. So he said, if your fishery is primarily bluegill fishery and perch fisheries, basically the same thing, what you're going to want to do is focus on weeds, because those fish tend to hide in the weeds. Bass are going to primarily be in that weed bed looking for those fish or forage. He said if your fishery is a shad fishery, shad tend to roam a lot. So you're not going to be in those weeds looking for those bass, because they're going to be chasing shad around the body of water that you're fishing in. So I thought that was really something that we should pay attention to. If you know there's bluegill and perch, and that's the main forage, you should be fishing weedy. If it's shad, like there's a lot of shad in the water and not a lot of bluegill and perch, you're going to want to, they're going to be moving around. So I'll give you a bonus tip real quick. Ready? So the bonus tip, if you're in a shad fishery and there's only it's the main forage is shad, this marine biologist was also talking about scent and how fish, bass, really focusing on scent. They can smell like a bloodhound, is what he was saying. So now, I've never used scents before. Actually, that's not true. Some of the baits I have scents, and I just never add scent. If you have just a regular soft plastic and you need to add scent, you can do that. I know there's products out there, but I want you and myself to consider that this year, the new year, we should all start paying attention to scent. So if you know the fish are roaming around, if you're in a river and you throw a scented bait and that scent is flowing downriver, the fish will come up and find it. If you are in a lake or a pond and the fish are roaming around and you throw a scented bait in and it's just dispersing all this scent, the fish are going to key in on that. If you know you're in a shad fishery or a river, moving water, current and stuff like that, I want you guys to try a scented bait, or you can get scent and scent your lures. But that's one of my New Year's resolutions, is to mess around with scent, focus on what type of fishery it is so I can focus on where I should be fishing. I hope you guys found that helpful. I thought these tips were incredibly helpful. I cannot wait to try a couple different tactics out as far as using scent and where to target depending on my fishery. All right, freshwater fishing novices, new viewers, old subscribers, new subscribers, I want to thank you guys for watching my video this week. I hope you guys got some value out of this video. I know listening to this guy blew my mind, and I could not share that with you guys. I figured that's something that you should definitely know as far as forage, where to look, scent, all these 5 tips, 6 bonus tips. It kind of blew my mind. I hope those tips helped you out. I know I'm going to be focusing on a lot of those things this year. If they did help you out, you can go ahead and hit that like button. Let me know that this video helped you out. I mean, all you have to do is hit the thumbs up button. It's on your smart TV, it's on your phone, it's on your computer. All you have to do is, if you guys like this video and maybe you know someone who needs a little bit of extra oomph for bass fishing this year coming up, you can share this video with them. Let your friend know I'm out here trying to help you guys become better anglers. Go ahead and hit that like and share button. If you guys have any questions, about anything fishing related, what's perplexing to me? I don't know, everything. Forget about what I'm perplexed by. If you guys have questions or comments or anything, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. If you guys like this video, you found it helpful at all, if you want more content teaching you guys how to become better anglers as a freshwater fishing novice, like me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click that bell, make it turn from red to gray. Make sure you're getting the notifications, and every Friday I put a video out, hopefully helping you guys become better anglers. I want to thank everyone for watching my video this week. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys are having a good new year so far. Thanks for watching my video, guys. My name is Moles. I'm the Freshwater Fishing Novice. It's Freshwater Fishing Novice Friday. Thanks for watching the Freshwater Fishing Novice YouTube channel. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll catch you next week.